Alrighty then, big titties and flat asses. Welcome back to another digital artwork experience with at Purple Dragon Artwork on Instagram and Facebook with 32 years of painting experience and 34 years of digital art experience, starting on Adobe Photoshop 4, working on Art Studio Pro from Lucky Clan Studios here. I love this program. Make a lot of money with it. Super easy to use. Shout out to Lucky Clan, because when I first got this program, it was full of bugs. I've been using it for like 4 years now, and I would send them messages on Instagram, and they would literally fix the bug that I found and release an update, and they thanked me and everything was awesome. So I literally helped develop this app that I'm using. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do my world famous art prints, which I've sold to Tel Aviv, Israel. I've sold one print for $20. The person paid $60 in shipping. So that was wild. But I've sold to Iceland. I've sold to Vienna, Austria, Tel Aviv, Israel, Amsterdam, where else? Germany, America, a bunch of other. I gotta like make a list, and I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a banner made up for next year. I'm gonna spend more money on like advertising and everything now that I finally moved into a place where it's just me and my wife now, not any roommates. I lived with roommates for 17 years. I lived with over 25 people. Alright, getting into turning my painting artwork into resellable art prints. It's the easiest way to make money. There's a live of me making the frames of it, and when you can figure out how to put things together you buy separately that make something phenomenal, people will buy it. They just say, take my money. Also the fact that I use black light paint, and I have it lit up, and then I'm gonna get more black lights for next year. I'm gonna get more batteries for next year. So I want to have like music playing. I want to have a spinning light ball. The more the merrier to draw the eye, now that I'm doing so many events. It's like plug and play right now. I started 7 years ago with one event. I was selling big art, big pieces, and then slowly but surely I learned to make smaller pieces of art. These are on 8x10 canvases, and I sell them from $25 to $100, literally. And then I go up on the bigger canvases of 100 up, whatever. I've sold a couple of paintings for like $300, $400, $500. I never did like $1,000 painting or anything. But always take pictures of your art. Take multiple pictures, different settings, different lighting. Edit them as least as possible until you get to the program. I mean, editing them on your phone is fine, but the more you edit it, the more you distort it. You want to bring it into a more powerful program like Art Studio Pro instead on your phone. But you take the picture and you fit it to the This is a 4x6. I use regular glossy paper, and I just take pictures of all my art, make them into prints, and I must have sold 1,000 prints easily. And I didn't even start making them that long ago. So I've been vending for 7 years. I've been doing coasters for 2. This is the 3rd year. And then I didn't start making prints until like 5 years ago. So for 2 years I didn't have prints because I made a lot of large paintings and I was taking pictures of them, but I didn't have like the iPad. I didn't have this program. I had to go on my old Mac from the Tower Mac I was using, and then I had an iPad. I didn't have a good program on it. So this year I'm trying to do the prints in black light mode. I think that would be way cooler than just normal picture with flash or sunlight. But it's gonna look really cool because it's gonna match the frames now. Also, for the background, because the frame is 5x7, the paper's 4x6, and I use comic book paper in between. So that's really up the level. First I started with, I think it was white paper, and then construction paper, and then the gloss paper, and then I was like, what do I do to separate myself? No one's selling prints like me. They don't have 5x7s with custom frames. It's usually like in a 10x10 or something, and it's black and glass and whatever. But the cartoon, the comic books added a lot of detail to it because they're so busy, and you got the words, and a lot of people don't even pay attention to it until after they buy it, because one lady, I had 2 images, was Hello Kitty, and one of them had like a rainbow background, and one of them had a comic book, and I pointed that out to her, and she was like, oh, thank you so much, because she knew the guy didn't want rainbow. So that's a risk when you do a rainbow on anything. So but I got a bunch I love doing rainbow design. I do them on the dioramas, the Hot Wheel dioramas. I do them on the prints. And then I think I might, if I could find more of the, cut out the rainbow and then glue it to the painting. Like maybe like here I would do the eyes as the rainbow cutout of the the fabric. But it's just an idea, you don't have to do that. But I love bright colors, and I've been experimenting, because you can dull bright colors if you're not careful, and you can make them too bright where you lose the color sometimes. But I love skulls. Everybody loves skulls. So I sold everything I either sold or it will sell, because like technically the artwork that I didn't sell is in my closet or under my bed, and it's all big stuff that I would have to charge a lot of money for. And like the coasters are $5, and I have mini dioramas, they're $3. It's a Hot Wheels on a piece of wood, and I literally just cut the Hot Wheels image, like the package, and I glue it to the wood, and then I coat it in epoxy resin, and it looks amazing. So I sell a lot. I did the Canna Expo at the AquaTurf in Plantsville, Connecticut, and It was so fun. I did $1,068, and I met a lot of cool people. I took some shrooms, and I don't know how I even managed to get home. I took too many on an empty stomach. It hit me before we were before everything was shut down. There was a ton of people, but I'm a legend. I've driven in Germany from the club home on ecstasy with one eye open. So I packed up by myself, tripping. I was so retarded. And it was the Super Bowl, and I came home, I watched the Super Bowl tripping. It was amazing. Shout out to D's Treats. He hooked me up with he gave me some cookies and some I bought some hot sauce from him, and then he bought some prints and coasters from me. I love going to events. That's like what I live for. I got 20 events this year lined up. Every year I'm adding new events. Like I said, 7 years I started with one. Manchester, Connecticut. Art on Main Street. And I used to drive by and he'd slam the steering wheel like, I should be out there. So I got together my stuff, set up. I always sold everything, every event, even if it was just one print. I remember we were at Center Springs Park in Manchester, and we were doing an event, and I sold one print of Wolverine. The most money I ever made was $1,200 at Silk City Fest in 2022. Or 20, whatever, right before the pandemic. And they didn't do it last year, but they're doing it this year. They're bringing it back. So I'm very excited. It's in August. And then I'm doing Fine Fettle Marijuana Dispensary. I'm doing Rejoice Dispensary, Still Hill Brewery, and then Ganymede. My art's selling out of there. I hang it up on the walls. He's been doing amazing events. He's got karaoke. He's got live bands. What else? Oh, so if you notice, pretty much all my paintings have to do with, they have eyeballs. They're like a character, something you probably recognize. And that's how I sell a lot of art, because everybody knows my art. Because they look at it and they're like, oh, I remember that, someone else did it. So I am saying steal, because good artists copy, great artists steal. And I don't think I'd have an art career with the art that I want to paint myself. I mean, really, I just want to paint nudes. Thanks for stopping by. Bye, guys. Please like and subscribe.